glorifies God. It triggers the supernatural power of God and grace of God to bring it to pass. When my heart is right towards God, God is obligated to bring it to pass. Father, I come thank you now, God, for being so awesome, being so good. Father, now as we partake into thy word, Father, I ask that you speak through my lips, think through my mind, God. These have been a blessing. That's in Jesus' name I pray, saying amen. Amen, amen. High five your neighbor. Tell them good to see you. Amen. 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 But tonight, this is the final part of restoring forgiveness. Amen, amen. This is our final chapter. First part, we spoke about, we taught each other that I forgive you. Tell your neighbor, say, I forgive you. I forgive you. And we sat down, we acknowledge, going back to the model prayer that we were taught growing up, as many call our Father's prayer. We acknowledge that we should forgive our debtors as God forgive our debts. We acknowledge that came together. Say it come together. It runs together. It's something that is in harmony with what God's doing for us, we have to do for others. Say, I choose forgiveness.
I choose forgiveness.
And then it went back to show us in that model prayer that we have a part. Say, I got a part.
I got a part.
I got to do my part.
I got to do my part.
I got to do my part. Don't get low with that. I got to do my part.
I got to do my part.
Because we make it seem as if God is going to work everything out for us while we just sit back and do nothing.
Exactly. No.
And in all actuality, He gave us the power to work it out ourselves. So tell yourself, say, I got to work this out.
I got to work this out.
And we're going to get into some work, and I can show you that. The second section, it was about restoring forgiveness. And then we went into the restoration process. Say, I'm going back to the restoration process.
I'm going back to the restoration process.
And in the restoration process, we taught each other that in order to be able to begin the healing process, we got to be able to take our minds back to our former state of emotions that we had for somebody before they made that hurt, or before they committed that offense, or before they made that flaw. We have to take that back. We have to reposition ourselves in order for us to be able to restore the situation. Say, I got to restore.
I got to restore.
And we even took it back to something simple as stopping the bleeding. Say, I can stop the bleeding.
Stop the bleeding.
You remember when you was growing up, they taught you the moment you cut yourself, the moment you begin to bleed, apply pressure, clean it up, wrap it up. Apply pressure, clean it up, wrap it up. And when you did that, you begin to start the healing process. Say, I got to start my healing process.
I got to start my healing process.
But in order to start your healing process, you have to first acknowledge that you are bleeding. So many of us want to start the healing process, but we don't acknowledge the bleeding. We overlook the bleeding process. We have to apply pressure. And in order for us to heal properly, we have to apply pressure, clean it up, wrap it up on a daily basis. I can't just do it one time. Because if I cut myself bad enough, it is too much blood coming out. Eventually, that blood gonna stink, and it gonna smell because I'm not cleaning it up. I'm not wrapping it up every day until it heals properly. So I gotta get this healing thing right. So tonight we here in part 3. So look at your neighbor and say, keep the light on. I love commercials. I watched TV growing up a lot. And one of my favorite commercials was Motel 6. Plainly said, we'll keep the light on for you. Look at your neighbor and say, I'll keep the light on for you. And when it comes to forgiveness, you have to keep the light on. Your light, you can't wake up one morning and say, you know what, I'm turning my light off. I'm turning my light off here. And you still expect to have the same results when it comes to walking through your forgiveness and your healing process. You have to keep the light on a daily basis. I got to keep it on.
Gotta keep
I was looking for some clothes in the dark. And boy, when I tell you I tore the room up, and everything I tell you it's just everywhere. Clothes was everywhere because I refused to cut the light on. I went through the process of trying to find something that I needed at that time, but I didn't cut the light on. I choose to cut the light on last, and guess what? I had chaos everywhere. So once I found what I was looking for, I had to eventually clean up the mess that I made in the dark. And most of us, we're looking for forgiveness, but we ain't turned the light on yet. And when you turn the light on, you open up the Word. Your light is in the Word. When you look in the mirror, you should be reflecting the Word should be reflecting you. But in your situations, we often try to solve stuff in the dark because that's what our people taught us. Every nationality taught us different things. And we feel like if I tell someone my problem, they're gonna know my business. But we don't look at it as if I tell someone my problem, they may have some wisdom to help me. So what we do, we continue to rumble around, throwing stuff everywhere, and throwing, just like I was throwing those clothes and other objects everywhere. That's how we do our relationships. That's how we do our relationships with our brothers and our sisters and our mothers and our fathers, our wives, our husbands. We do our relationships the same way until we find what we're looking for. We just throw everything everywhere instead of just looking to the Word. In order to cut your light on, we growing up, my cousin, I tell you, my grandma asked you to cut the light off on everything. If you can cut the light bulb off in the icebox when you open the door, she'll actually do that. And we treat our spiritual light like that. We think we run up our electric bill, our light bill, our water bill, our gas bill. But we don't have a bill. We don't have a spiritual bill. We have to keep the light on for a reason. There's a reason why we got to keep the light on in order for someone else to see. You can't expect for others to see your light if you never turn your light on. You're blending in with the darkness. You're blending in with the foolery. Because at the end of the day, somebody got to know somebody's different when you're hanging around them. I got to be able to tell that, you know what? She know what she's talking about. I may have my light on, but she got hers on. It's shining real bright. But then we get around people who don't know what the light is, and we hide our lights. We cover it up as if there's nothing to show for it. But in order for them to see, you gotta cut your light on. Growing up, I was in drill team, and it was one scripture that we had to quote every time we hit the floor. The word would be a light unto my feet, a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. His words would I hide in my heart, that I might not sin against God. A lamp unto my feet. Therefore, if I make a step, I can see where I'm going. The word is that step. The word is showing me where I'm going. But the reason why we don't know where we're going, and we're lost, and we're confused, and we're struggling, is because the lights, you're still in the dark, baby. You're still wondering, should I pay my bill when your bill has been paid? Say, I gotta keep my light on.
Gotta keep my light on.
That's good, sir.
Say, I gotta keep my light on. Yes, indeed. In this process of reminding to keep your light on, while walking this path of forgiveness, you are required to keep it on. Like I said in Matthew 6:15, it said, let your light so shine. So is very important. Very important. For God so loved the world. That's a lot of people say that's deep love. So let your light so shine. Keeping it on. When you go to sleep, you glow. When you're in the sun, they still can see your glow. But in order for you to do that, you got to get in the Word. I can expect you to give me something that you haven't deposited in yourself first. At the end of the day, I can expect you to forgive me if you don't know what forgiveness really is. Really is. Not what we have been taught, not what we picked up on. what forgiveness really is. In a lot of our problems, whether we want to admit it or not, small or big, we haven't forgave someone you can't move. I remember just this week, I was talking to Apostle, and I was talking to Evangelist Pam about this. Coming home from work, and it didn't. I don't think it hit the news, but coming home from work, it shook me up. I was coming home, and I saw the accident happen before it happened. And once it was like I was on Final Destination. I don't know how it happened like that, but once the vision left my mind, the car had a blowout. It swerved left, no, it swerved right, and it went 80 miles left, hit a tree head on. Shook me up. Shook me up. Because by being two cars in front of me, you know what? That could have been me. So it shook me up, but then again, I was reminded I was still covered by God. I was covered by that light kept me. So something like that, if that happens, and that's scary, just imagine just being out of His presence completely. So when people come around you, your light should shine, and even if they don't go to church, guess what? They feel like they had a revival when they met you because you kept your light on. Because you gave them some type of insight and some type of wisdom. And guess what? They can move on. That's encouraging them to, you know what? I need to go see what she's doing. Let me get in contact with her. Let me get in contact with him. What you doing? What you reading? But guess what? If you ain't reading nothing, you can't tell them nothing. So I gotta keep my light on. Let's go to Matthew's, the 18th chapter. Let's go to Matthew's, the 18th chapter. Let's go to 13th, the 14th through the 17th verse. Everybody have it? It's at 14, 15 through the 17th verse. Let's go to Message version. Let's look at it like this. We often put all the pressure on God. Now we're finna see through Word and through some other things that we have to solve this problem ourselves as well. We cannot depend on God to just come down from heaven and work everything out for us. Because in all actuality, He didn't come down from heaven to cause all this hell for you. You did. Say, I gotta keep the light on.
Keep my light on.
Okay, let's start at verse 15. I'm gonna read this together. Everybody have it? We're gonna read this together. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's read. If a fellow believer hurts you, go tell him. Work it out. Two of you. Stop right there. Hold on. So, who got to go and tell who? So, who got to work this out? So, why are we putting so much pressure on God? Fix it, Jesus. No. You fix it. You do it. Why would I give you power when you don't use it? Why would I give you a piece of me and you still dependent on me to do it for you when you can do it? That ain't how. Okay, that is not how it's supposed to go. Say, I gotta take part in this. Okay, let's continue. If he listens, you've made a friend. Let's go to verse 16. Everybody, 1, 2, 3, let's read. If you won't listen, take one or two other along, so present witness, presence of witness, and keep things honest, and try again. If he still won't listen, tell the church. If he won't listen to the church, he would start over from scratch. Confront him with the need of repentance and offer again God's forgiving love. So when things seem like they're not moving forward, you still have to put effort in it. You cannot get a maximum effort, a maximum result without giving maximum effort. You can't do it. I can't do it. How can we expect everything to go to plan when we haven't even followed the instructions for the blueprint? How can I expect to bake a cake if I don't follow the instructions on the back of the box? So how do you expect for things to flow for you in this process if you're not following the instructions? We went through the restoration process last week, and we said we have to take our medicine. We know that the word is our medicine. But if you want consistent healing, you want progression in your healing, I can't just take it 1 and 2 days. You know, most of us, when we get sick, we take the medicine until we feel better, even though the process is not over yet. You catch a cold, the virus runs its course for 2 weeks. We take medicine for a week. When we feel better, we cool. 3 days later, we back sick. Why? Because we didn't follow instructions. We didn't follow proper instructions, complete instructions. So when I'm in my restoration and my healing process, I have to be able to follow the healing instructions. We went through some information concerning if you come across a problem other than forgiveness. It's a word for that. We went to Psalms 37 when we felt like that even it was against us. We went to Psalm 37 and said, "Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be that envious because of workers of iniquities, for they soon shall be cut down." But it went on and said, "Delight thyself in the Lord, and do good, and he shall bring it to pass." Your instruction was to fret not, to delight and do good. Also, the part that we miss sometimes is doing good. We may not be afraid. We may be reading and studying, but are we applying? Are we actually working this thing out? Say, I got to work it out.
Gotta work it out.
If you are afraid of confronting or speaking about a situation that hurts you, you will continue to bleed. You will continue to bleed. Because that person, if that's just like somebody coming up and stabbing me, and I don't tell him to move the knife, I'm going to continue to bleed. I'm going to continue to feel that pain. But at the end of the day, guess what? I got to tell, look, bro, you got to get this out. You got to get this knife out of me. Pause. You got to stop, because when the bleeding starts, my life is at stake. So I gotta be able to apply pressure, wrap it up, clean it up, begin to heal. Your healing is most important to you. Why? Because you have to start over. You have to start. The Bible says that you have to start from scratch. When you was trying. Once you get it resolved, the pain doesn't go away, because it's going to stay in your mind. Therefore, you have to renew and restore. You have to renew your mind and restore yourself with those renewing words. If I am not in consciousness of my words, I can kill or I can bless. We know that. Power of the tongue is blessings and curses, the power of the tongue. Therefore, if I want to heal myself, I have to be able to speak over myself. I can't depend on you, I can't depend on you, and I can't depend on you. I have to do this. My healing process starts with me. Say, it starts with me.
Starts with me.
When you are keeping the light on, your healing process is moving forward. You're moving forward with it. You're moving forward. You're moving forward. But the moment you decide, I'm sick of this, you feel like you're not making any progress, but you can't judge your progression on what you're seeing. Because if I feel like I'm not gaining any weight when it comes to me just drinking creatine. Creatine is something that a lot of weightlifters use. I feel like I'm not gaining any weight. I feel like I'm not gaining any weight because I don't see it. But if I try to squeeze into an H&M small shirt, squeeze, I try to squeeze in it, guess what? You ain't gonna feel like that no more. So with your natural eyes, you're saying that I don't see anything that I'm doing. I don't see any progression. But guess what? If you can be able to just sit here and just sit in the room with somebody that just did something totally wrong to you, guess what? You're growing without losing your mind. You're growing. You're not acknowledging the baby steps because you want to be able to jump to the joyful end. You want to be able to reunion with someone. It don't start like that. You have to be able to make the small steps. I got to take the baby steps. And when you're taking the baby steps, you're giving yourself room to heal. I can't expect someone to just completely trust me with their life after you asked me to catch you when you fell back and I moved. And then you get up and ask me the same thing and you just know I'm gonna catch you. No, you're gonna be like, hold on, how about I'm gonna ask him to catch me today? Because you dropped me last time. So you're taking baby steps. You gotta build your trust back up. When you are in a emotional state, your attitude and your feelings have to balance out in order to move forward. Because in order for my emotions to control me, well, in order for me to control my emotions, I gotta control my attitude, I gotta control my temper, I gotta self-control myself. And that all starts with keeping the light on. I can't expect you to forgive me when I haven't forgiven me.
That's right.
We want everybody. We want everybody to come to us and say, you know what, I'm sorry. Stop playing a victim. You're not a victim. You're a suspect. You're a suspect to yourself. You playing the victim as if, you know what, they did me wrong. No, you did yourself wrong. So many of us do ourselves wrong and put ourselves in the wrong way and expect everybody else to feel sorry for you. But no, boo-boo, I'm not. It's not gonna happen like that. How can I expect somebody to feel bad for me when I put 7 knives in the sink and I just stick my hand in there and cut my hand? Common sense would have told me, maybe you need to put the knives on the side, wash them one by one. But guess what? We continue to make it seem like, oh, don't nobody feel my pain. I didn't cause your pain, you did. Your decisions cause your pain. With your decisions, there came consequences. Hopefully you still had all 5 of your fingers. I don't know, but you can't expect me to feel bad for you when you're not operating the word. You can't expect me to feel bad for you when you're getting the same thing I'm getting and you doing nothing with it. I can't do that. I can't put myself in that position. Because that's going to hold me up. And I'm going to become a liability to you. You're going to be able to feel like you can lie to me to get some things from me. It ain't going to happen. Point blank. I see women and men put themselves through domestic violence situations all the time. And they say it's because they love this person. If love causes me to get some stitches, some punches, some black eyes, I don't want that love. I don't want that love. And then at the end of the day, you get mad when somebody stops answering the phone for you because this is the 10th time you called me in 3 months from taking a bat beside the head and you still ain't left from the instructions I gave you. You don't want help. You don't want it. I'm showing you a better way and you still choose to do something else, therefore it's not wasting my time. Don't call me no more. Point blank. Say, I ain't picking up the phone.
I ain't picking up the phone.
I ain't picking up the phone. Let's go to, I'm going to get off there because I keep going. I don't want to do it.
My bad.
Let's go to Psalms 51. Let's go to Psalm 51. we going to go to verse 7. In this Psalms, David was crying out to God. It's one Psalms that a lot of people love verse 10. I'm gonna focus on verse 7 because it's talking about being cleansed. And in order for me to shine, I don't want a dull light. I want to shine. I want to shine bright. But in order for us to shine brightly, we have to remove some things. We have to remove some people. And it may hurt, but you're going to have to do it. Because if you keep darkness around, sooner or later, you're going to catch a little black spot on your bulb. Then eventually that black spot will turn to a quarter will go to half a dollar going to cover the whole thing. You're going to be covered with dark because all you do is surround yourself with it. Statistics show 90% of the things you hang you follow, you become. Even though we want our light to shine in the world, we shouldn't be consistently dwelling with the world. We often say that we won't change, but we haven't changed our surroundings. Not just simply saying we're moving. Our surroundings are the people that surrounding us in our lives. We won't change. We want better. We want progression. We want healing. We want this. We want that. But you're not distancing yourself from things that you need to distance yourself from. Okay, we're going to go to the King James Version first. You know what? Let's go to the Message version. I like the Message version first. Everybody have it? And it reads, soak me in your laundry, and I'll come out clean. Scrub me, and I have a snow white life. Soak me in your laundry, and I'll come out clean. Scrub me, and I'll have a snow white life. Is that saying you're going to be perfect? No. But that scripture is showing us that we can have a fresh start. He is asking God to cleanse him. So my question is, when we're asking God to cleanse us, are we asking God to give us the power to cleanse someone else? To cleanse this situation? To reconcile this situation? Have we made effort to reconcile situations that we know that are bothering us day in and day out? Have we went to that person and say, you know what? I don't know what I did to you, but I'm sorry. I apologize. Forgive me. Instead of just waiting on them to say, you know what? I was wrong. Because in you waiting, you're wrong. You waiting on me to say, I'm sorry. How about you just, come on, swallow your pride and walk up here. Don't tell me you're a Christian or a son of God or a daughter of God, but you can't even approach your brother and your sister and say, you know what? I may have offended you in my words. I may have offended you on my job. I may have offended you in some things that I may even posted. I'm sorry. It's time out for us to sit here and walk around as if somebody owes us something. They don't. But in order to move forward faster, you got to take all the baggage off your back. And most of the baggage that you're carrying, you don't want to let go. Forgiveness is for you and others. But you go back to the eraser process. Are you withholding the eraser? Are you withholding that chance for somebody to say, you know what, I messed up, I need it. Let me cleanse this. Let me make this work. Let me make this right. Are we doing it with each other? Or are we selfish, self-centered, prideful, arrogant, expecting everybody to bow to us? We expect everybody to bow to us. But you know what? We haven't humbled ourselves to other people yet. We say we're walking in love. We say we love God. But you ain't loving His people. The very people we come to gather with on this night and other nights, are we truly walking in love with them? Or do we need to start a forgiving process? Or do we need to start a healing process? We come in, we put on fronts. Who fronts? But guess what? Your thoughts killing you every day. Your emotions in your life every day. And without dealing with them, they're going to kill you. Not saying that you're going to blow your brains out, but they're going to kill your relationships. It's going to kill you, seriously. It's going to kill everything you put your hands on. Your good ground will turn to concrete real fast. Real fast. Because you refuse to water it. You have dry, dirty hood yard. Dirt. Needing some grass replacement.
Man, that's funny.
Rocks. You cannot live like that. This series wasn't meant for me to sit here and get in your business. This series was simply for you to challenge yourself to reconcile situations in your life. This wasn't about to show you what's wrong. It showed you what you need to work on, what you need progression with. Like I said once before, how would you feel if God said, you know what? I ain't forgiving you today. Maybe when you start forgiving some other people, I start forgiving you. How would you feel? Well, I know you'll cry now. But seriously, how would you feel? How would you feel? If God Almighty said, you know what, I'm not forgiving you no more until you get this right. It should have to come to the point where He says that for you to do it. You should do it willingly. That's called walking in love. It comes natural. It comes natural. When you walk in love, forgiveness comes with it. Giving comes with it. Caring comes with it. Sharing comes with it. Stop being a taker. Or you come in a relationship to see what can I get. And eventually, guess what? You get nothing. But you put nothing in. You get nothing. Stop making the situation center around you. Let's be bigger men and women. Let's go back to Justin. I'm done. It's time for us to start being bigger men and women. Gotta put on our big boy, big girl pants. We say we kings, we say we queens. Guess what? I don't see Queen Elizabeth running around here acting crazy, holding stuff back. You know why I'm not importing nothing to America? Obama didn't acknowledge me in his State of the Union address. That's foolishness. But you know what? It happens. I'm not going back to that church. He didn't acknowledge me when I came in there. She didn't acknowledge me when I came in there. And that builds a bitterness and resentment towards someone that never did anything to you intentionally. It's just how you took it. It's just how your emotions was going that day. Maybe it was that time. I don't know. But you shouldn't have to be forced to do something. I'm tired of forcing people. I'm tired of begging people. You should be tired of begging people. You should be tired of people. You know what? No, you should tell yourself, you know what? I'm not doing this no more. I can't have it. This relationship is destroying me. It's not making me better.
I like that.
But we keep relationships like that around because we got something in there. We still got our hand in there. Our hand is in, but our heart is destroyed. heart is broken. The Bible says that a broken heart dries the bones. Your bones are dried up, but you're still crawling to try to make it work. You still put in the effort. You cannot run through a wall of 10 foot by 10 foot cement.
Man, you will knock yourself out.
It's gonna stay there. And eventually, when you tired of giving yourself a concussion, you'll stop. And that's what we are doing. We are giving ourselves damage. We are damaging ourselves because we're trying to make something work that isn't meant to be working. We're still calling that person. We have soul ties to people who've moved on.
I like that.
We hold it. Why would I hold a grudge with my wife over something that happened before me? That's 20% of the situation that's going on. Relationships, insecurities. We can't trust the next person because the other person messed up the trust. So therefore, guess what? We coming in with targets on our back, not vulnerable. When are we going to be vulnerable for forgiveness? When are we going to be open to forgive? When are we going to start to say, you know what? Who can I forgive? What did I mess up in the past? I like what Apostle said Sunday. I'm going around fixing every situation.
Me too.
But when are we going to have that actual drive to do that? When are we going to do that? Not just because we don't want anything to happen to our children, but when are we going to say, you know what? I want to live freely. I really want to live freely. We go to bed. We say we go to bed at 9 o'clock. We still wake up in the middle of the night thinking about things that, you know what, I need to go ahead and call her. You know what? No, I ain't calling her. She ain't called me. He ain't called me. I ain't making this work. You post a text, you might well go ahead and text them. Text them how you feel. If they respond, oh well. But you release your emotions in that text.
Amen.
Apostle gave me and maybe others, when I'm dealing with something like that, when I was dealing with forgiveness issues, write a letter. Put all your emotions into that letter. When you get through with it, tear it up. Because if that's all that's holding you back, saying what you want to say, and voicing your opinion, how they hurt you, put it on paper. You get all that out and move forward. And walk up to them, speak them, give them a hug, give them a kiss, keep moving. And they'll wonder what happened. Why they acting like this with me now? But it starts with you. Forgiveness is a choice. Say, I choose to forgive.
I choose to forgive.
Well, I hope this series bless everybody. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you.
Come on, let's do better than that. This is it's so good to see y'all out tonight, and it's supposed to be thunderstorming and hail. Me and Miss Jerry back there praying, Lord, please, Lord, please, let them come. It's like we got some mature people. They gonna come. We got a mature church. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Some mature folk coming out, even though it's storming outside, and lightning, and supposed to be hailing, and all that kind of stuff. We went to work. Amen.
Amen.
So we're gonna come to church. Amen. Come on, high five. Say good stuff tonight. Good stuff tonight. Yeah. All right, sit on down. This is gonna be it's gonna be real fast. I was looking at posts and text messaging and inboxes of people that's watching this all over. People just saying how blessed they are from the series. Pastor Chris texted, and she was just saying how it's working with her and ministering to her. And because we all have people we need to forgive, stuff that comes up, and things that's eating us up and different things. He hit on a whole lot of stuff in this series. And if you haven't taken the opportunity, go back on YouTube and start over. You didn't get it the first time. You didn't get it all the second time. You didn't get it all tonight. If you go back on YouTube and look at that stuff over, and, I was so proud. It sounded like Dr. Dollar standing up and just teaching. If it had been raining, I feel like I was in World Changers. We just sitting, listening to the rain hit the roof, and it's just quiet, and Dr. Dollar's teaching, or Pastor Ken Terry is teaching, and you can hear the rain falling outside, and we're just in there taking notes. It's not about the shout, it's not about the dance. If you got stuff on the inside, eat you up. We shout, dance, go home, and then he outlined that scripture. Pastor Justin, a lot of folk don't know that scripture's in there. How you deal with church mess. Matthew 18 in there. You went and told apostle. Well, that's what Jesus said to do. That's what he put in place. You go to the person. They don't want to hear. You take somebody else with you next time. They don't want to hear. You bring it before the church. That's just in the word. That's how we deal with the stuff. That's how we deal with the problems. That's how we eradicate the stuff out here. And so he ended with some questions tonight. And I want to take about 3 minutes to do this. He ended with some questions tonight, saying, when are we going to do this? When are we going to open? When are we going to be vulnerable to the people? When are we? So I'm going to open up the altar tonight so we can answer that question. The answer is going to be tonight. Tonight we're going to choose to let some stuff go.
Amen.
Some people that hurt us, caused us harm, caused us pain, and we've been walking around with this on the inside of us, and then because of that, it has bled over into situations, it's bled over to relationships, it's bled over on my careers, it's bled over in my marriage. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And at some point, which my mature people, we should be tired of allowing this stuff to bleed over into all of our relationships. Everybody ain't bad. Everybody ain't doing you wrong. It may just be there's some stuff within that you just have to dig out. And instead of putting somebody else in stitches, you're going to cut yourself open and deal with what you got going on. Amen. Amen. So I'm going to open up the altar tonight. If that's you, we're not laying hands on nobody. I just want you to, your 2 feet, as my grandma would say, pat down. And the old folk would say, get that monkey off your back. Get that off your back. Can't sleep at night. All that stuff just feel like something just draining you all the time. That's forgiveness. Forgiveness. And there's some things you might say, you know what? I don't have to forgive anybody of anything. Then I have to call anybody out. There's some stuff I'm still holding on. Baby mama problem. Baby daddy stuff. That man that moved on. You still stuck. Oh, yes, amen.
Amen.
And so we're doing this at our altar here. But there may be those of you that are watching us online, you need to be doing this right now on your couch, in front of your television, wherever you're watching us live. Getting right down in front of your desk and eradicating this stuff. So you can move forward in your life. So you can enjoy yourself a good man. Amen. Move on. You can enjoy yourself a good woman. You can move on. Amen. Praise the Lord. You can enjoy yourself a good church. And stop thinking every pastor out to get you. And every pastor want to sleep with you. Amen. I'm talking to you. going over there. All pastors want to do is sleep with you. But if you stop wearing some of the stuff you wear.
Amen.
All right, let's get on to forgiveness. The Lord deal with that. Yeah, you wearing all that stuff to get the attention. So if that's you, you're saying, I want to move forward tonight. I want to get this stuff off me. I got some stuff, I just gotta get it off me so I can move forward. I can move on with my life. Get rid of soul ties. And he talked about all that stuff. All that stuff. He said, what's a soul tie? Somebody you made love with, and now you stuck there. At the mention of their name, your mind goes back. At the smell of their cologne, the smell of their perfume, your mind goes back. You can't let go. If they called you right now, you drop everything you was doing. It's a soul tie. That's a soul tie. And here's the deal. I can say we all, I'll say the majority of us have been here. Whether you got delivered publicly or you did it privately, there's been somebody you had to release out of your heart and out of your mind. Amen. Because all that stems is there's married folk, there's single folk. That's why we have children. That's why I enjoy sessions like this. We can really deal with this kind of stuff. With adults who are making love to their significant others with somebody else in their mind. Oh, yes. Yeah. I'm right to say 3 people. I don't know the blues song. Sleeping in my head. In my bed. That's his mother. So 3 people sleeping in my bed. Me and my woman. And the man in her head. 3 people sleeping in my bed at one time. Me and the man in her mind. We're going to clear that up tonight. We're going to take all this nasty and shouting we've been doing, we're going to clear that up tonight. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. He just don't do me like Bobby. You ain't with Bobby no more. You with Robin. He just don't do, she don't do me like, you ain't with that no more. You with, hallelujah. Amen. So this altar's open tonight. This altar's open tonight. That's you. Come on, slip on up here. Amen. Just be honest with yourself. That's me. I got to get some stuff off me. I got to move forward. I got to move forward. I got to move forward. Yeah. This is what it's really about. This is what it's really about. Knowing that God's forgiven me. Now I can forgive me. I did some stuff. I said some stuff. I went some places. I knew I shouldn't. I ain't had no business. It was good. I enjoyed it. If it probably wasn't for the night, I'd be on my way back. So let's go on. Come on, put your hands on yourself. I enjoy moments like this. And for those that were just, I ain't going up there. I'm just going to deal with this right here for me. Go on, slip your hands when you say it. Been there, done that. Been there. Come on up to this altar. All Reverend, I'm going to stay right. It's between me and the Lord. I'm going to stay right. Amen. So we thank God for the boldness to be able to come up here and say, you know what, it's me. It's me. My grandmother used to sing this song all the time. She would sing around the house and say, it's me, it's me, it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. It's me, it's me, it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. She said, not my mother, not my father, not my sister, not my brother, but it's me, oh Lord. That ain't been the kitchen, man. What? Like, no, that's way back in the day. They probably, yeah, that's the foot pattern. They had the, this new line on Looney. Yes, Lord. Had the washboards. Going with all of that. So let's put your hand on yourself. Let's make this affirmation. I'm free tonight.
I'm free tonight.
I release myself to God.
I release myself to God.
I'm free from this.
I'm free from this.
It's out of me.
It's out of me.
I'm out of it.
I'm out of it.
I am forgiven.
I am forgiven.
In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen. Come on, receive that. Receive that. So now if it's a person, you say, how often do I need to do this? You do it every day. That's the medication. You do it every day. You do it every day. So you get that person in your mind, that person that's done you wrong, that person that tipped out on you, that person that messed up your trust, that person that messed up your life, that person that did you wrong, that person that put you on child support, that ain't even your baby.
Oh.
Yeah. We deal with real stuff in light of transformation. Yeah. You put me on child support, you know I take care of my children. You still stuck me anyway. Not because I wasn't doing anything, just out of spite. Get that person in your mind. I gave myself to you and you cheated on me. That hurt. I gave you my heart, I gave you my mind, you cheated on me. Let's deal with it. Let's deal with that pastor. I trusted him. I gave my offerings. I gave my heart. I gave this. I gave this. Let's deal with it. Get them there. What? I forgive you.
Oh, man.
My father, who walked out. Some of us still hold that kind of stuff. My daddy always told me he was coming and never came by. So now it's showing up in my fathering. Why? Because you got to do this tonight. So let's get that person in your mind. If you're in this altar or sitting in your seat, watching us live, get that person in your mind. Get those people in your mind. Let's make this affirmation. I release myself. From you. From this. I'm free. From you. From this. The wisdom of God is in my life. The Father guides my steps. I am free, delivered, healed, sutured tonight in Jesus' name. Come on, receive that. Receive that. Receive that. In the spirit now, let's point at it. In the spirit, let's point at it. Let's point at it. Let's point at it. I forgive you. I love you. I cherish you. I speak blessings on you. You're going high. Keep it up. Yeah, I know you're saying, no, I don't want to say that. Yeah. You're going high. Come on, you will excel. You'll do great things. I'm here for you. I'm watching you grow. My light is on for you. In Jesus' name, go in grace. Come on, say, go in grace. Come on, receive that. Receive that. Receive that. Receive that. Receive that. Receive that. Hallelujah. Yeah. Let me go back to your seat. I'll leave the light on for you. Glory to God. Yeah, come on, let's stand on our feet, man. This has been an absolutely amazing series. Absolutely amazing series. Yeah, I choose to forgive. Restoring forgiveness. Putting it back in place. Putting forgiveness back in our homes. Hallelujah. That's amazing. That's amazing. You see how easy? Yeah. Time to go.